Welcome to the Sailor Noob podcast, where a superfan and a noob talk about the original Sailor Moon episode by episode. I'm your host, Mikan Hana, joined by my co-host.
I'm the co-host and the noob, Caliban. Follow your dreams, or they'll follow you.
No. And we're a couple of magical people ready to Moon Crisis make up this episode. Today we are talking about episode number 153, Kyofu no Haisha-san, PallaPalla's no Yokata in Japanese, Dentist of Horrors, PallaPalla's House, the English translation, and the English title, Dental Dilemma.
It's not really her house. We'll talk about it. It's not her house, but
it is her house.
It's a house.
It's like a dental. Well, I'll save it, I guess.
A dental dilemma.
It is a dental dilemma.
I don't want to talk about it.
All right.
I'm mad.
Okay, why are you mad?
Tell them why you're mad. That's what to say. Because I watched a YouTube video by a famous YouTube channel who I will not name, but it was about anime, and it's about CG animation in anime, and they're like, oh, this is so great, it's so good, and all the things that they're saying. They are a CG production company. If all you've got is a keyboard, everything looks like, a couple passes in After Effects.
Sure.
And so they have to pray. They're like, oh, this is pretty good, but it's not as good. And one of the things they showed was like the Trigun reboot, which I haven't watched. I don't know about the scripts, but it's not. It looks like a computer game.
It does look like a computer game.
The thing about the original Trigun is that it's amazingly, lovingly hand-drawn.
Yes.
I understand that people consider that to be undoable today, but you could do it back then.
Yeah.
And only 3 animators dead.
Oh my gosh.
Find a way to do it because it's incredible, and leave the CGI to BoJack Horseman, which is fine, but nobody wants to be impressed by what's going on in BoJack Horseman. We're here to laugh at the horseman.
Yeah.
I haven't watched BoJack Horseman.
Do you think that they rely too much on CGI these days for animation?
Well, it's getting used more and more, and that Oppo, Doppo, Oko, Ozu, Oku. I got it. That Oku show that I want to watch.
Oh, yes.
Is CG animation, I
sure.
think. And so I'm like, I hear the story is really good, but I'll just put up with it. But also, I think it's a talkie show. Sure. So I don't care what it looks like. But yeah, like the Castlevania show is, one of the things they were talking about was Chainsaw Man, which everybody loves. Yes. And I didn't know was so CGI heavy. Yeah. This Trigun reboot. Now, if you're going to try to do a reboot of a classic thing, you're going to CGI it. And it's going to look like crap and give me no reason to watch this instead of just watching the original. Yeah. And so I understand why they do it. Actually, I don't understand why they do it. I bet it costs the same or more. Maybe it's a little faster. I don't know. I don't know why they do it. Yeah. But, they think it looks cool, I think. And for me, CG animation, and I'm not talking about like, all right, I'm really going to get crucified this episode. What? I don't really like the Spider-Verse movies because I think they're poorly written. No, I'm just kidding. Visually, and they're amazing. Visually, they are amazing, and for sure. It's not cheaper because they spend like $200 million on them. Yeah. But if for that, fine. That is a work of art. It's not some crappy Netflix retread of something that we just put together. Like, there are 2 really great and mostly hand-drawn Ghost in the Shell TV series. Yes. Or seasons of a series. Yes. And then the same company, IG, was like, we want more money, so we're going to make Ghost in the Shell 2045, but we're going to subcontract it to a CG animation company. Yeah. And it looks like crap and everybody hates it. It doesn't look very good. Yeah. It decisively does not look very good. So for me, like CG animation in animation and anime is like the surly drunken uncle of AI art. We all hate AI art. Yeah. Why can't we just extend that to CG animation? And I'm not talking about using it to make the process easier, to give people a break so they don't work 80 hours, to do it on things that nobody's going to notice necessarily. Yeah, but it's just so noticeable. The way characters move, the way that they're designed, and the way that they're the frame rate and the way things execute, you can just tell. It just doesn't look good. And it can often take you out of it. And I will bring Sailor Moon Crystal up in this. They definitely do it for the transformations, and it's so
it takes me so out of the TV show. Like I'm just like, I'm enjoying the story, and then we're just like bubbly, ropey people twirling around and transforming, but I'm just so transfixed on the CGI that I
CGI
just,
in the background or the characters?
No, the characters are CGI.
See, that's the place where you would use it, because that's where they use it in live action.
Yeah, but it doesn't look good.
Right, but it's one thing to have, and we complain about Johnny Quest characters where their mouths are moving or whatever, but it's tough to draw a character spinning around 360 a couple times.
Yeah, I suppose.
But that's where the money goes. That's what the money's for.
Yeah.
That's how you do it. And so I understand them going, all right, well, let's make that something special and different, and we'll just relegate that to CGI. That being said, I have not watched Crystal. I can't watch it. Not yet. But I bet that you have not noticed there's a lot of CG in that show that you don't notice.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure there's a lot.
Yeah.
But
I bet the entire like assemblage of it is done,
I bet a lot of the
in CG.
A lot of stuff is done. Yeah, probably. I think you're probably right about that.
They're not like photographing these cells or whatever. Like, get a cell from Sailor Moon Crystal. You can't. I don't think they exist.
They probably don't exist.
Yeah.
I had one other thing I wanted to mention.
Well, me too.
That I wanted to mention.
I think it's the same thing.
Probably. Happy 20th anniversary to PGSM.
Yeah, they turned 20 this week.
Yes.
Pretty cool.
Yes.
So, when are we going to get the sequel series? I got the pitch.
Come on, guys. Let's get the sequel.
I've got the pitch.
Yep.
Bunch of hot moms giving advice to their... And we'll do like... didn't they do this with like one of the 90210 reboots? Maybe it was the Melrose Place one, where it's like, oh, we got a couple of the stars from the original show back, but they're not going to be there to just go like, what's up, and then leave. They want parts too. And so now, and this is smart for your audience, because you want to sell a whole new generation of girls on a live action show. Sure. But you want to bring in the old money too. Sure. And we are the old money.
We are the old money,
You want kids to watch it with their parents, and you have a multi-generational thing going on. And so Ami's got... some kind of scandal going on. There could be like a hot doctor element, at her hospital where she works,
Oh my gosh.
And her kid is in medical school, but she's like, I don't know if I want to be, I want to be a musician.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh no, wait a minute. My mom did the exact same thing. I'm not going to leave a message on the whiteboard saying study hard. I'm going to go into that room.
Yes.
And I'm going to love that kid.
Make that call.
Yes.
Oh, that would be great.
Because otherwise we get double Dark Mercury.
Yeah. Although I wouldn't say no to that, but...
It's going to be real edgy.
Yes. I think I saw recently that the actress who plays Mako in that is engaged. Oh. So, yeah.
Good for her.
Yeah. I know Miyu Sawai just got married within the last year or two. So
good for her.
Yeah. Anyways.
Well, if you like this kind of talk,
random.
We got a lot of it. Almost 60 episodes worth.
Yes.
On our Patreon at patreon.com/Sailor Noob, where we go through the entire live action series, including the extra special episodes and Karari Sailor Live.
Yes.
If you know, you know. And if you want to hear us talk about that, those are all available still at patreon.com/Sailor Noob.
So, Cal, give us a breakdown of what happens in today's episode.
I'd like to, but I can't.
Why?
Because my copy of this episode was a dub.
How?
Well, the Criterion collection from which I watch all of these episodes has been unfailingly a high-quality transfer, along with a, as I've said before, pizza pasta fan sub. And I turned this one on, and we get to the first scene, and the character says, "Zirconia, come here."
Oh my God,
Wait a minute, what is this? So I had to go out and find a different version. I just watched it on YouTube, where all of these episodes are available.
Yes.
Free with ads.
Yeah.
Unless you know how ad block works.
I've never seen a single ad while watching Sailor Moon.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
So people are afraid to advertise on this.
What
all the bad messages about dental hygiene.
Yeah.
So I thought that was kind of weird. But then I flipped it around and everything turned out okay.
Good.
And so now it turns out I can give a recap.
All right, good.
Our recap starts when we open once again in the Hall of Mirror, or perhaps the Mirror of Hall. Because we stand on the other side of the looking glass.
We do.
Where Queen Nehelenia is summoning Zirconia for a little tete-a-tete. Zirconia appears in the mirror, bowing, and Nehelenia says, "Have you yet found Pegasus's host, the one who possesses the golden mirror?" Zirconia says, "Grade A exposition, Your Majesty. Really first-rate stuff. But we haven't found it yet." Nehelenia says, "How long will you keep me waiting? I am not a patient person. I don't eat hard-boiled eggs because they take 3 minutes to make." And we focus in on her eye, which shimmers blue, with a cat-like gold slit of a pupil.
Yeah, cat-like eyes for sure.
She's got 9 lives. Cat's eyes. And she says, "Bring Pegasus's golden crystal to me. Is that clear?" Zirconia fills her adult diaper as she says, "Yes, Your Majesty." And Nehelenia disappears from the mirror. We cut to the death spa, and as we pan down from the palm-brushed ceiling, we hear the shadow masseuses chanting, "Squeeze, squeeze, press, press."
Yes.
And PallaPalla's says, "Come on, play with PallaPalla." Is this a full-service salon?
I don't think she means it like
we
that.
finish panning down, oh thank God, to see that Vest is
gosh.
getting a massage while PallaPalla is trying to get Vest to hang out with her.
Yes.
But Vest says, "Go away, kid. You bother me." I looked all over online for a clip of that. So
Did
if
you?
you're a big W.C. Fields fan, it's too late for you. That is gone. I know it's 100 years old.
Wow.
But there's no way to get any of that anymore. So that's all gone. Sorry. Best I could get was Froghorn Leghorn.
Okay.
I say go away, boy. You bother me.
Nearby, Siri is applying face lotion and says, "We don't have time to play with kids." We need one person just doing their elbows, you know?
Yeah.
Like Joan Crawford, just sitting in that salon chair, you know? We don't have time to play with kids. What are these wire hangers doing?
Oh my God.
Jun is reading a magazine and says, "Go and play by yourself." And Zirconia said, "That was pretty easy. I could have got something out of that."
Yeah. Well.
I followed my better angel. And Zirconia says, "Don't you people have work to do?" The wizened catfish lady stands at the door of the spa as the shadow masseuse takes this opportunity to dip.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need this. I got a wire hanger to put myself on.
Oh my God.
Zirconia never went to the neon bar. This is amazing.
I know.
Right?
It is. It's unprecedented.
It's almost like they didn't care at all about the Amazon trio. It's almost like they were made up out of whole cloth almost, and they just stuck into this thing. Siri says, "Oh, we're ready to go." And Vest says, "Old people get so impatient," as Zirconia wishes death on them internally. Zircon the Flaming Eyeball arrives, and Zirconia waits for the new photo he presumably brings, but nothing comes. Yeah. Zirconia says, "Are you telling me you couldn't find a target? What's going on? You were the only one I could rely on." A single sweat drop rolls down the eyeball as the girls titter behind Zirconia.
I love the sweat drop.
"We can't do anything without a target," they say. Zirconia looks like she's going to blow a fuse, and she finally yells, "Enough!" as the walls of the spa shake with her anger. We hear Palla cry, "It hurts! It hurts!" And as we pan over to her, we see that she's playing with a Barbie dentist set.
Yes.
But the dentist is a man, so it's like the patriarchy Ken dentist set.
Sure. Yes.
Yeah, you understand.
I do.
The power of horses. Her green-haired woman doll, you gotta have green hair,
yeah, of course,
says, "My tooth hurts." And the male dentist doll says, "We have no choice. We have to operate." He's got the coat on and the black hair. He reminds me of Steve Martin in Little Shop of Horrors.
Okay,
you know?
yeah, sure, yes.
Here is the leader of the Flash.
Yeah.
I would not want him to be my dentist at all.
How old is Palla? Like, Pegasus is texting her old?
Oh, God. I don't know. I was trying to think about this. Wow. So, they're older than Chibiusa, but, like, they're younger than the Senshi. So maybe they're, like, pre-teens. Like, maybe they're, like, 12, 13. I'm
Her, like, specifically, though.
I think she's just immature for her age. I feel like they're all supposed to be the same age.
Playing with toys.
I don't know. Maybe that's just a thing that I get. But she's
playing with toys.
Yeah, I know she's playing with toys, but she's older
Tell
than...
me, you played with toys when you were wearing a bikini?
No.
That's pretty well filled out?
No, but she is.
Hold on. Hold on. That outline bling is coming in.
Oh, my God. But she's obviously older than Chibi. Okay.
Just move on.
Okay, moving on.
Zirconia and the rest of the Amazon Ass Quartet look over at her like, uh-oh, we can't afford any Little Shop songs. And Zirconia says, what are you doing? And Palla says, Palla is playing with yourself. See, I got there eventually.
Okay.
I'm playing dentist. The rest of the quartet is scandalized by their immature teammate, as Palla's doll says,
What did she say?
It hurts. And the dentist says, well, if you can't stand the pain, I'll pull off your head.
People will pay you to be inhumane.
And she pulls the head off the girl doll. Palla says, see, the pain's all gone. And while the Amazons are shocked by her cruelty, Zirconia sees an opportunity. She says, Palla, I want you to use your evanescence orb to capture the possessor of a beautiful dream. And Palla says, is it fun? And Zirconia says, sure, try it out. As we shutter wipe out of the spa and into the Sakino household.
Yes.
And we get an on-screen chyron saying that it's the Sakino household.
Yes.
7 p.m. dinner.
Yes.
Like it's a Law and Order episode.
Kind of.
Like this is all coming out of a police report? What's going to happen? Usagi and Chibiusa are saying Gochizu-sama for their dinner, and they're clearing their dishes when Okuko Mama
I know.
says that she's got custard and ice cream for dessert. Is this some kind of dream sequence? In an 80s movie, this is when, like, the Nicaraguan cocaine guys come in and blow everybody away.
Right.
Everything's going too well. Ukiko says, you're not too full? And the girls are like, there's always room for dessert. And inside Chibi's pocket, Thumb eases back the hammer of the 45.
Oh, no.
Keep the sweets coming, lady. Later, it's 8:30 p.m., family time. And the girls are watching TV, but the TV's just blank white. They didn't animate anything. So.
I didn't notice that.
It makes it even weirder. Like this is some kind of like Outer Limits episode or something.
Yeah.
You guys want some more sweets? Sure, Mom. Duh, nothing on the TV, just static. Ikuko comes in and says, oh, girls. And Usagi says, it's time for homework. Now I know something's wrong.
Yeah, right.
What did you do with Usagi? Usagi starts to get up, and Ikuko says, no, I was going to ask you, do you prefer steamed bean jelly with chestnuts or cream puffs? And the girls go, both, of course. And we see that this isn't a police report. It's a post-mortem for their teeth.
Yes.
At the start, the scene was kind of letterboxed. By two sets of stylized teeth. At first, you're not sure what it is.
Yes.
But as the girls go about their night eating sweets, we see the teeth get more and more corroded.
Yes.
Now it's 10:30 p.m. and Ikuko, in her nightgown, calls upstairs. The girls are upstairs.
Yes.
They're not watching. They are presumably in their rooms.
Yes.
Perpetrating on going to bed.
Yes.
But Ikuko, from the hallway, says, girls, want to join me for tea and snacks before bedtime? And the girls are like, yeah. And we see the donuts and the madeleines that they're having with their tea.
Yes.
Tea at 10:30 p.m. for a first grader?
I don't think this is very
tea
common.
For a first grader?
I mean, you have to kind of feel like Ikuko Mama is kind of complicit.
Is dreaming?
Well, it might be
she's
dreaming.
In like an alcoholic haze having a fantasy that this is happening?
Well, her husband's never home. He's just not there anymore. So, but you have to, she's kind of complicit in this, right? She's given them 3 different desserts.
We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Well, the girls are in heaven, and Ikuko says, well, I'm headed to bed, alone. You two have an early start for your picnic tomorrow at the Jolly Rancher factory. Go to bed quickly. Just trying to think, what's the next stage in this PSA about, you know, taking care of your teeth?
Yeah, right. Hard candy.
10:51 p.m. Be sure to brush your teeth before going to bed. This is like 24. We're going minute by minute here.
We are.
Brush your teeth, Chloe. We're running out of time. As Ikuko leaves, the girls say, we will. But they give each other a look like, we won't. And Chibi says, if I brush my teeth now, I'll lose all this wonderful sweet flavor. Celestial Seasonings Cranberry Apple Zinger. The girls giggle to themselves as we get one more round of decay on their overworked teeth. That night, in front of an empty lot, An empty lot in Japan?
Yeah.
We know how this works.
I mean,
bare ground?
Yeah, it's rare.
Quell horror, or whatever you say in Japanese.
Yeah, right, exactly.
We see PallaPalla holding her dentist playset. It's just so weird. It's just like,
I know.
What's that stripper doing in the middle of the road with the children's toys? And she says, I pity humans. They get cavities. I'll make their lives more comfortable. And she produces her evanescence orb and holds it aloft. As it glows, her playset rises into the air, and she cries, PallaPalla House Fun Dentist Edition! The playset unfolds, and out of it emerges an entire office building.
Yes.
Which is like kind of overkill. You don't need you don't need a multi-story affair.
No.
You know? Look at you're driving through the neighborhoods, one floor dentist thing. Who knows what it used to be? Now there's a dentist there. Chiropractor on the other side. You know how it works.
Right. Yeah.
I'm going to that dentist for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Palla is happy, but she says, oh, I have to get ready for my patients. She gets out a bag of sugar. She tastes a little. So sweet.
So weird.
She throws it into the air where it spreads all over the city.
Uh-huh.
We cut to Juban General where 50 patients have been admitted with severe diabetes.
Yes.
Now, we hear a chorus of children's voices saying, ow, my teeth hurt. Palla's like the tooth fairy's cousin who's in the mob. She's like, boy, be ashamed if something happened to these teeth of yours.
I gotta keep my teeth business going. So
someday you will be asked to perform an extraction for me, kind of thing. The next day, the squad is playing lunch ball, and Makoto lobs it to Mamoru, and he catches it. Boom, like 3 of his ribs have been broken. Everybody's having a good time, but Chibi looks unhappy. Mm-hmm. Mamoru asks her what's wrong, and she says, my head hurts. And I was really looking forward to eating Mako's box lunch. Mm-hmm. Usagi says, where did this gluttonous side of you come from? She's just holding an ear of corn.
I know.
Mako says, maybe some ice cream will cheer you up. I hear Bob Floyd was cleared of any wrongdoing and his stand is right over there. Chibi's into this idea, and soon she's holding a double scoop of brown and green.
Yeah.
She takes a big bite. She screams to the heavens, it hurts! My ice cream bar! You betrayed me!
I've had this ice cream bar since I was a child!
We get a view inside Chibi's mouth, and every tooth has a cavity.
Yeah, it's bad.
And Ami is looking in there with an intraoral mirror that I guess she just has in her purse.
Which is
just
strange.
Let's see, defibrillator, bone saw.
Oh my God.
MRI machine. Yeah, I'm good. Ami says, you've got cavities, a disease where bacteria eats away at your teeth. And Chibi's like, I have a disease. And Minako, for some reason, is like, ha, Chibi, scary bacteria eat sugar and digs holes in your teeth. And because this show cannot help itself, Usagi says, yeah, if you don't stop it, your jaw falls off and you die.
It's like, oh my God, can you imagine being a small child and not knowing what cavities are?
We see a little cartoon abstraction.
Yes.
Like maybe it's a child's imagining of a goblin hacking away at teeth.
Yes.
Until the mouth dissolves and a halo with wings rises up. The ghost of a mouth. That's what Chibi's thinking.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Minako always does this. She's does ghost stories and tries to freak people out. So that part makes sense. But
yeah, but the other blonde.
Yeah. Usagi did not need to pile on.
I don't know if they're steering into it or they just don't understand.
Yeah, I don't know.
I can't help themselves. Ami looks at them like, who are you supposed to be? And they're like, we're you. This is you. Chibi says, I don't want to die from a strange disease. But Ami says, you can just go to the dentist.
And it's a perfectly logical option.
Right. And Chibi's like, what? Really? But Usagi says, no, you don't want to go to the dentist. It's scary. And he hit a lady in real life.
You have a talent for causing things.
Topical. Miriam Margolyes, who plays Professor Sprout, was the assistant in the dental clinic. And one of the bits is that he's always beating her up.
Oh, okay. Gosh. Okay.
I don't know whether or not the character, it's unintentional, but he's like, oh, he stretches and punches her and he slams the door in her face. And so she's doing a lot of physical comedy. She did an interview recently where she's like, he was terrible to me on set and he hit me. And Steve Martin did a tweeter or a spot. Somebody asked him about it and he's like, that was we were doing a movie. She knows that we were doing a movie, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. Believe women. Wow. But apparently 45 years ago, Steve Martin might have been a little rough on set when they were shooting this movie.
Maybe they could have done it a little softer looking, or I don't know. I don't know what happened. So
yeah. So anyway.
Interesting.
Believe Professor Sprout.
Okay.
You're making a big mistake if you think you're leaving there alive. Ha 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 ha. As she laughs this big, of course, her mouth is open very wide.
Yes.
And Ami says, whoa, Usagi, let me get my head mirror out of my purse. Your teeth look awful too. And Usagi's like, no, you don't know how scary Juban dentistry is.
Yeah.
The guy sings songs the whole time. And his motorcycle parks itself. Chibi says, is it that scary? And Mina says, it's scary, all right. You could run into Bill Murray there.
Oh, my God.
Oh, you are something special.
Bill Murray. Also, who maybe women should watch out for.
Oh, boy.
It's been in business since 1628.
Yeah.
We see an old-timey Japanese rundown building, and inside a scary, long, white-bearded man gripping on a drill.
Yes.
And we hear a young girl scream. Mina says, no one knows what became of that child.
It's like, Mina, what are you doing?
Bill Murray.
Thank you.
And Chibi's like, there was a kid in the story? You didn't set that up at all. And was this in the 17th century or right now? Way to tell a story, dumbass. He's like, I have a dental drill in my bag. Maybe I could. But
Oh, my God.
Usagi has gotten shocked on her own stock.
Yeah.
And now she's afraid to go. Mm-hmm. And she screams, oh, my God. And we transition through her mouth, Luna style, to the Sakino household, where Mamoru is dropping the girls off.
Yes.
Ukuko is there to meet them, and she's furious. Mm-hmm. She says, I got a call from Ami and your friends, and they say you have cavities. Let's face it. Forget the friends. That call came from Ami. We know this. We know that for sure.
Yeah,
the first thing that she did was call her mom.
Yeah.
She's that girl in the group.
She's like, they're not going to tell her on
Guys,
their
we
own.
can't tell anybody about this.
Yeah.
We gotta swear. Okay, fine. Ring, ring. Oh, we did this. Right? I don't know what girls are like, but boys are like that.
No, it's definitely like that.
Ukuko says, after all the times I told you to brush your teeth, I made you appointments at Juban Dentistry. Go right now. Because your appointments are right now. That's how appointments work. The girls look at each other and scream, no! We'll be right back. Jesus H. Arthur on a flaming Italian tricycle. We have finally made it to the eye catch. You know You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown, the musical?
Yes.
There's a scene where all the kids are asked to write a report, and it sounds like this. And so they have to write this report, and the song is like them covering the different... And so you got Sally, you got Linus, I think you got Charlie, and you got Lucy, right?
Yeah.
And Lucy is got a head of steam. She's really strong. There's a 100-word essay.
Sure.
Somewhere around 60, she starts to run out of gas. And she says, and that's why it was a very, 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 count on her fingers, very, 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 99, good idea. The end. Lucy Van Pelt wrote this thing, it feels like.
Yeah.
You could feel them chugging towards the halfway point. Like, we can get into it once we hit the halfway point. So, you got this? No. You got this? No. You, dentist? Who? What? You? You've got him? No. You? There's this old scary dentist or something, you know, a scary thing. What? Me? No.
There were a lot of no's.
You're home. Oh, hi, Mom. You, cavities, get an appointment. Get the, no, me, no.
I feel like you just reenacted
It took about the same amount of time, too.
Yeah, right.
On the way to the dentist, Usagi is hanging onto Mamoru's arm. And she says, you'd say you're going to stay with me the whole time, right? Will you hold my hand? And he's like, yeah, look, stop clinging to me, you guys. And we see that he's dragging Usagi, and Chibi's clinging to his chest like a baby monkey.
Yeah.
They arrive at the dentist building, and they see that there's a line out the door.
Mm-hmm.
It's the hot new dentist.
Yes.
Everybody's heading there. We see the new building says Delightful Dentistry. And it's made up to look like a gingerbread house, which is mixed messages, honestly.
Yes.
It's like how dentists gave out suckers for like 70 years, and then they were like, I think they're on to us. Maybe erasers?
Yeah, let's have a toy box instead. Yeah.
Chibi says, cavities are trending.
So hot right now.
A white-coated man approaches them and says, please take a number and wait in line. And it's patriarchy dentist Ken. wait a minute, are they going to go all the way? Is Palla going to look inside all these kids? Is there just a pile of broken mirrors by the dumpster behind the building?
I don't know.
And there's a pile because the dumpster is full of child corpses?
Oh my God.
Usagi says of the living doll, he's handsome. And he says, I'm the dentist here. Please come and see me. And he gives her his card, and she's like, I want you in my mouth.
Oh my God.
And Mamoru, he's a dentist. And Mamoru is just side-eyeing her the whole time. And Usagi says, he seems very capable. We see as well the green-haired doll in a nurse's outfit. And she welcomes them to the clinic. And like, Mamoru is blushing?
Which I'm like...
They did not expect to run into such hot toys.
I guess
at the dentist office. They did not think that was going to happen.
No.
Mamoru is like, we all need to be serviced. And Usagi's like, hold on. Are my jealousy sensors working? And Mamoru's like, actually, I'll be outside. I'm out of here. And he leaves. And Usagi's like, what? Mama lied to me. Usagi's name is called... Actually, Miss Tsukino is called, so we don't know who it is.
Yeah.
And Usagi, like George Michael, walks into the waiting room. And Chibi's like, pull yourself together. You're embarrassing yourself.
Just made a fool out of yourself in front of T-Bone.
Inside the doctor's office is a huge spread of sweets. There's fruit tarts, macarons, cookies, Jell-O, and a bowl of fruit.
Yes.
Oh, that's a mistake. I hope somebody got fired for that blunder.
Nature's sugar.
It seems off-brand.
It does.
Yeah, but he has to eat so many bananas before.
I know.
Or maybe it's like the end of Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
How so?
There's all these fancy sweets, but you've got to choose the simple fruit. This looks like the orange of a carpenter. And if you pick the wrong thing, your jaw melts and you explode.
Yeah, hell, hey.
Shoto keiki?
He chose poorly.
Chibi and Usagi are like, wow, the dentist is awesome.
Yeah.
And the nurse doll says, have all you want. You'll be treated after anyway. Dentists love it when you eat right before you go.
Oh, love it.
They love that.
Yeah.
Outside on the street, Mamoru is apparently rehearsing his makeup with Usagi.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, Usako, you know I'd never even look at another girl. Aw. And he hugs himself. Okay.
So weird.
Getting a little look behind the curtain here at the emotional labor involved in this relationship. He's like, oh, you fool. No, I can't call her a fool. She let that handsome doctor lure her in. She gets pretty stubborn when she's angry. What's going on here?
I think he is having a monologue to himself, but I'm not exactly sure what is happening.
Lucy Van Pelt's back.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to do something. We got to fill the last 12 minutes of this episode.
You know what? Maybe that's what it is, unfortunately.
Presumably replete with sugary snacks, Usagi and Chibi are led to the dentist's office. It's pretty spacious, and there's even a green elephant chair for little kids.
Yeah.
Also, the windows are aquariums. This is like their money. Are the fish evil fish? Does she have to give them evil fish food?
Yes, the answer is yes.
What if this, is this like a Cinderella coach? Will this building turn into a pumpkin in 24 hours? Because it's kind of an
great
investment.
Question.
She has employees now.
She has employees.
She's got to call
fish.
ADP. She's got to do payroll.
Yeah.
She's got to order more fish food.
She has to order more sweets.
A lot of erasers for the elephant.
Yeah.
It's a pain in the butt.
It is a pain in the butt. I hope Zirconia gave her carte blanche on this.
It's a lot easier when you just, bam, just bust into some young girl's house and be like, give me your, what are we looking for? Jewels. Give me your dreams. Give me your hearts.
Yeah, right.
Rip your head off. No, now they're going into business. They're going straight.
That's right.
Usagi and Chibi sit down and we go through one of the aquarium windows to see PallaPalla watching them.
Yeah.
She says, she seems like it's tough being a boss, She's like, these are the last targets for today. Cut to an alleyway with a bulging dumpster. It'd be nice if they possessed beautiful dreams. I haven't had success all day. This isn't fun. And we pan down to see, yes, there are piles and piles of children.
I know.
Presumably all full of cake.
Presumably.
Some patisserie owner just bought a boat.
Yeah.
The logistics of this. We're going to need 300 tarts. No, don't ask what they're for. At this point, like, this Tokyo must have some kind of city ordinance.
You would think.
If you're ordering a lot of potted plants.
Yes.
If you're ordering a lot of saddles for horses or something like that. It's like, look out. Got a background check. 7-day waiting period on Mont Blancs. You got to be careful these days. We fade from that to Mamoru on the street again, still rehearsing. He says, Usagi, your white teeth are sparkling. Little fake hug again. Why not? A little fake kiss. Oh, don't go too far now.
Oh my God.
He sees the streetlights come on. And the spell is broken. And he's like, oh wow, it's late already. All those people went in and nobody came out. And the garbage truck came by 3 times. In the clinic, we see Shackles lock Chibi and Usagi to their chairs. Come on, heroes.
Yes.
Anytime there's a chair with separate arms, you're getting locked to that chair.
That's a good
fair point. You have
point.
to be ready.
Yes.
You know who's ready for that?
Who?
Batman.
Batman?
In Batman issue 674, during the Grant Morrison run, Batman is captured by the Bat Devil.
Okay.
One of 3 former police officers who were trained to replace Batman.
Oh my God.
If Batman ever died.
Okay.
But the program was a failure because, they're not Batman.
Of course.
They were failures.
Yes.
But one of them, the Bat Devil, swore revenge on Batman.
Okay.
So he traps him. He shoots him with an explosive shell.
Okay.
Batman has a little mini heart attack. He's
That's
knocked
not
out.
good.
Bat Devil takes him. This almost kills him. He shackles him to a chair and he gloats about how they ruined his life. This is Dr. Hurt was doing this. This was Dr. Hurt's plan, and don't worry about it. He's an evil guy.
Okay.
And so they murdered his brother and like his sister to give him motivation like Batman.
Oh, that's
so
horrible.
he blames Batman for their deaths. And so he's gloating about, he's telling him everything, and he's talking about he's going to take him apart piece by piece. He has a big knife, and he says, maybe I'll start here. And he just saws into Batman's forearm.
Oh my God.
When the knife comes away, there's no blood on it. And he's like, what? How did you? Bam! Batman socks him in the jaw.
God.
Gets out of the chair and stomps the guy. While he was monologuing, Batman had time to dislocate his arm and slip it out of his sleeve. And then free himself.
Oh my God.
So he just cut an empty sleeve. It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't.
But who cares? It's awesome.
It's very cool.
Well, our girls can't dislocate their limbs. Their jaws, maybe.
Yeah.
But that won't help here.
No.
And they're trapped. Palla rolls out on her ball holding a cue stick and says, hi, I'm PallaPalla, the ball balancer. I'm looking for the golden mirror, so here we go. Who's first? And she lines up a shot with her blue ball. Okay. But a red rose hits her cue stick, knocking it away and off her ball. Tuxedo Mask is here.
Yes.
They're on the 3rd floor, I guess. He says, I can't forgive a fake dentist who uses a cowardly trap to snare innocent girls who just love sweets. Palla says, oh, pooh, kill that guy. And her doll servants run at him, but TM fires a blast of rose petals at them, knocking them back. I guess he can do that.
I guess he can do that, yeah.
Unless he just throw like 20 roses. Has he ever done that?
I don't know.
Stuck them somebody to the wall?
He's...
That's going to happen later, so maybe he doesn't want to step on somebody's
I feel
bit.
like he's done that at some point.
It's so like inconsistent.
Yeah, it is.
He rushes to free the girls, and they run out of the room to transform. Inside the office, Tuxedo Mask incapacitates the doll servants. How?
I don't know.
Can they be knocked out?
Possibly.
Can they be killed? Did he return Barbie Land to its benevolent matriarchy?
I don't know.
Did he get the nurse to agree to be the doctor's long-term distance, low-commitment casual girlfriend? Maybe that's what it was.
Yeah, maybe.
Sublime! He says, now it's just you and me. And Palla's like, But as Tuxedo Mask makes his move, Palla kips up and sends her ball flying at him, knocking him to the floor. Sitting atop the ball, atop him, she says, Palla doesn't like you. I want you to die. I'm mixing 1st and 3rd person.
Yeah.
I'm crazy. But we hear, we won't let that happen. Dentists are scary enough as it is. We can't forgive you for making them scarier. Bill Murray. Now I'm so like the SNL guy.
You do!
Bill Murray. Lorraine Newman. In the name of the moon, we'll punish you. Sailor Moon and Chibi Moon are here. Palla says, "Did you come to play with Palla?" Which actually, you get a Parcheesi board and we're good.
Yeah,
we got a problem, right?
Distract her.
Right,
Yeah.
but that's not what they're here for.
No.
Sailor Moon says, "What? We intend to destroy you."
Yeah.
I hate fails where love would win. And Palla's like, "Oh, okay. Come forth, my lemur. Gari Gari, the girl who grinds for fun." Now we're getting somewhere.
Oh my God.
Coming up right now on stage 2. Give it up for the girl who grinds for fun, darling Gari. Out of her shadow comes a shadow. It actually goes over Tuxedo Mask's arm, and he's like, "Whoa, get out of there." A shadowy blob with a face evolves into an anthropomorphic tube of toothpaste. She says, "I am Gari Gari. Have you been brushing your teeth? I'll teach your grandmother to suck eggs."
Yeah, it's terrifying.
And she throws like 100 dental drill bits that pin Moon and Chibi to the wall. Palla yells, "Good job, Gari," as the doll servants pin Tuxedo Mask to the ground. See?
Yeah.
Should have shown them love or something. I don't know.
Get them
the power of
distracted
friendship.
together. Yeah, right.
She says, "I'm going to treat you. You won't have any more cavities when I grind away your teeth." She holds her spinning drill in front of Moon's face, and Chibi says, "Oh, that sound makes my cavities hurt." The girls both cry, "No!" And their amplified cries reverberate around the room, making Gari clutch her non-visible ears. They're there. They're there. And the aquarium glass begins to crack and splinter. This must have been Chekhov brand glass.
Must have been.
That's why they were an aquarium.
Yes.
Not because we're in Miami Vice. Not because this is a dentist in 1984 Miami.
Right.
Because it had to break.
Yes.
But there's no wave of water that rushes in and
That's weird.
drowns
Yeah.
anybody. So maybe we are in 1984 at Miami. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe Sonny Crockett's coming in to get his teeth done, get his veneers on. Who knows? This is a power callback to episode 1.
It is.
What is going on here?
I know.
As the room shakes, Palla cries, "My Palla house!" And what?
That's your name, but okay.
Okay. She needed Palla windows.
Oh, that's
Right.
good.
No,
That's
it's
good.
Not. It's not, because we didn't get it in the script writing stage. We got it now. Pella is a window brand for anybody that doesn't know. Water fills the room as Moon and Chibi are free of their bonds, and Tuxedo Mask cries, "Now, Sailor's Moon!" And with a wave of her carillon and a twinkle yell, Chibi summons Pegasus. Pegasus says, "Horses have pretty strong teeth, which is good because I can't exactly hold a toothbrush or use mouthwash. Let's just say I wouldn't look in this horse's mouth, folks."
Oh my God.
Sailor Moon gives with the MGM, and Gari stages out for the last time. She's heading for the lobby with her magazine. As the building continues to quake, Palla says, Palla can't stand losing. This is no fun." And she balls out of there. The dolls must be like, "What do we do now? You gave us life. Do we go to the gynecologist? What do we do?" Well, the question is answered because the building and everything in it fades away, and our 3 heroes are left standing in an empty lot. Tuxedo Mask looks down to see the broken toys and the broken dolls and says, "It was an illusion. Mamoru, you were attracted to her.
I know.
She had life. A life has been lost." That's cold.
That is cold.
And we focus in on the doll, weirdly. And there's a little Sailor Moon sound. Like this.
I didn't notice that. That's weird.
Something has happened here.
Yeah.
Gonna see this doll again. Later, we see the kids and presumably parents. Oh, yeah, that's right. All these parents were bringing their kids, and they weren't all rehearsing conversations in the street.
No.
Was there a separate room that opens up? It's like, wow, it's full of Scotch whiskey and pumpkin spice lattes.
Must have been.
Whoa, a Bachelor in Paradise marathon is on. Can we stay here forever?
That must have been it.
And guess what? All the kids' teeth were actually fine.
Yes.
Those were temporary evil cavities. Wait, maybe Chibi was right and there was a little goblin in everybody's mouth.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe that's part of the power. Mamoru says, "Looks like everyone's cavities are gone." And Usagi says, "See, we were worried for nothing." Mamoru leans down and says, "Let's have a look." And Usagi puckers up to kiss him. And he says, Hey, your teeth are totally black. What brand is your toothpaste? Kingsford?
I know.
Their cavities are real? Yeah. And they have to go to Japan dentist?
I know.
And we see Usagi in the chair in the spooky old dental clinic.
Yes.
With the scary old dentist.
I know.
Now spit!
Usagi and Chibi say, hold my hand. And we see Mamoru's head like, womp womp. And then he turns into like a sketch of Tuxedo Mask's head.
Yeah.
It's sort of like, it's not really irising out like, that's all, folks. But it's sort of like just his head. But then he becomes like a sketchy Tuxedo Mask head. And he's like, womp. And then like, that's the end. That's the last beat.
Like,
that's the last beat.
It's weird. It's like, oh, what am I going to do? I have to hold both their hands. Womp, womp. But yeah, it's like that. That's all, folks. That's what it's very similar to.
I think I left it all on the field.
What?
I don't think there's anything else to say, really.
No, I don't really think so either. I wanted to know why Ami had a dental mirror in her purse or what have you.
Kyo mirror, let's go.
Oh, okay.
First time, speaking of mirrors.
Yes.
First time, no mirror. No mirror.
We didn't see a mirror at all.
There's a big missing step from this episode.
There is.
Now, you're going to tell me in the behind the scenes that they decided that because the Japanese Dental Association wanted this to be an important message, there's no way that they just forgot. And by forget, I mean, I don't think they forgot, but they just went, oh, we don't want to do one. Now, look, I love being surprised. Mm-hmm. And I don't necessarily love patterns.
Yeah.
But you do, Show.
Yeah.
You do.
It is. You're making a good point. Like, it is
what
very
the hell,
different.
Man.
Mm-hmm. It almost.
Even when they were going through the time tunnel and they were going to the future.
Yeah.
The show still found ways to bring up single-serving monsters for them to kill. Remember when Chibi was being chased by the Grim Reaper through the ruins of Crystal Tokyo?
Yes.
And you're like, what is this?
Yeah.
Oh, it's just something for Sailor Moon to shoot with her laser and kill. So she can go, Moon, whatever this is.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this time they're like, no mirror, doesn't matter.
I think
one of our characters didn't get a special power.
Yeah.
We didn't learn any lessons.
Right. No, you're absolutely right. It's very different. We didn't get like somebody's dream. What's their dream? I think it almost to me feels like they're trying to speed run, like getting to the final mirror. Like
we got a ways to go if this is a speed run.
Well,
we got about as much time as we spent with the Amazon trio at this point.
I know,
so
but I just mean
if they're going to phone it in, if they're going to Pegasus phone it in, that's going to be a long call.
Okay. So one thing that I will say is that maybe this is another thing that I think they wanted to teach kids about cavities and that sort of thing.
Why?
There was a side story in the manga that was about that this is based off of with Chibiusa and having cavities. So I think.
But side stories are literally just
side stories.
Ways to make 22 pages or whatever it is in the tankobon.
Right.
Right. It's not like, and I don't know if Japan does this, but it isn't like, oh, in America, every, in the 80s until, yes, it was Reagan.
Yeah.
Every time you pull the mask off, it's Reagan.
Yeah, of course.
Why even just assume Reagan's under the mask from now on? You don't even have to pull it off, Scooby Gang. It's Reagan. Oh, I'm the ghost from the swamp. It's Reagan. It's Reagan. But
kids, it's Reagan.
Before Reagan took it away, there was a legislation in America that said you can't just have a cartoon that's a half-an-hour commercial for toys.
Right.
That is manipulation. That is media manipulation. The kids will yell at the parents till the parents get them the toys. It's printing money.
Yeah.
And so they just basically went, well, what if G.I. Joe comes in at the end and goes,
bottom massage.
Yeah.
and we learn some kind of lesson.
Yes.
And then that's how we'll get around that. And so that's why there's like, oh, this week, we're going to kill the laser skeleton, but also a kid learns to roll when they're on fire. And
sure.
So that's educational. Right. We're good. And we're out of here.
Right.
They even put them on the end of Sailor Moon.
I know. I was going to say that. Sailor
It's
Says.
called Sailor Says.
Yes. Yeah.
But they don't have that in Japan. They're cutting heads off on the regular.
Yeah, right.
Right. Like the Muppet Babies. Have you seen it in Japan? Soaked in blood.
Oh my God. Well, I mean...
They're always seeing movies and Muppet Babies, right? Well, Lucasfilm films.
Yeah.
It's like they walk into like a Brian DePalma film in Muppet Babies, you know?
That would be terrible.
they're like, oh, what's Audition? And they just like, you know, it's a Takashi Miike film. It's very bloody.
That
very,
would be
very
horrible.
Suicide Club. Okay, Piggy.
Oh my God, no. I don't even want to think about it.
Come on, my Kermit.
Your Kermit was good.
You got a piggy?
Come on, frog. I don't know. Not really.
Not bad.
Okay. Well, I need to work on it. Come here. Give me a kiss.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
I don't know. Need to be worked on.
She's got levels.
She does have levels.
Oh, Kermit.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right, sorry, go ahead.
I love Miss Piggy. I just think, like, okay, I think they want to teach kids about cavities, but I do feel like the little cavity ghost guy.
I don't think they do.
But the little cavity ghost guy, like, just chipping away at your teeth, that's terrifying.
I don't think they do. They don't do that in Japan. They haven't done that for anything else. Literally nothing. You've had so many stranger dangers. You've had so many people being on fire. You've had so many, hey kids, stay away from volcanoes and dinosaurs. Like, what's it supposed to be? They don't care. They don't do that.
I just don't know why.
Now, you're going to sometimes have stories that are germane to children, which is your mom tells you to brush your teeth and you don't want to, but maybe you learn some kind of lesson and you go, you know what, mom was right.
Yeah.
No comeuppance.
Yeah.
Except there is comeuppance. But there's not. But also there is.
There is. They have to go to the dentist that's scary at the end.
Right. Yeah, they do. But I'm just saying, all the kids had fake evil cavities?
Yes.
So it wasn't the sugar in the first place? So where's the lesson?
It was the magic sugar.
Right. But then it comes back around and obviously she has a ton of cavities. She eats sweets all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And whether she does or not, you know, first of all, the downside is no more late night Madeleines with the Cuckoo Mama.
No. That's not happening.
No, you don't understand. It was evil sugar. There was a goblin in my mouth. She's like, you can't see that boy again. You know, Mama's got to pay the dentist bill. So that's all she knows.
Yes.
She doesn't know about your magic.
No.
But they don't ever like do the Spider-Man kind of stuff.
No, they don't. Not with the Coco Mama. They
Or her
should.
secret identity, you know, runs into her superhero identity. So.
Yeah. That would be interesting.
So anyway, just not
be interested in that.
If they were playing that out, that would be interesting. That would be a good womp womp at the end where she's like, "Hey, Mom, where's the custard? Oh, have a bowl of fruit."
Yeah, right.
She doesn't know that actually fruit is bad for you because it's a monster tried to feed me fruit to rot my teeth.
What?
There was a bowl of fruit in the Indiana Jones thing.
Oh yeah, right.
So it's not that, and it's not a PSA because they don't have those. So it's nothing. It will be reflected.
Really hard for me to wrap my head around.
Within the rating.
All right. Oh, Kimihito, will you ever learn?
Hey, can I run something by you?
Yeah, sure. Come on in.
Well, since we're 85% of the way through the Sailor Moon franchise.
You should check your math on that.
And I'll soon be graduating from noob to master. I'd like to spitball some ideas for my master's thesis.
Plausible with a promise of comedy? Hit me.
Okay, how about Prickly in Pink, a psychological profile of Chibiusa?
It's a little dry.
All right. Altitude and Attitude, Tuxedo Mask and Vigilante Escalation Theory.
Same problem.
31 Flavors of Murder, the Bob Floy Freezer Slayings.
Maybe not so dark.
Bringing Down the Horse, the Hunt for an Equine Predator.
That's going in the wrong direction.
Okay, Emby Friday, Umino's Dishes for Lenten Fishes.
It's a thesis, not a cookbook.
Lemons Are Not the Only Fruit, a study of closeness between cousins.
A little too topical.
The effect of sailor rays on Man in the Moon Marimo balls?
No one's going to get that.
If You Incest, ale on in a doomed tree with no branches.
We need to stop.
Yeah, I just don't have it yet. What do you think?
Well, I think that anyone who's interested in a humorous look at Sailor Moon and Japan-related topics should listen to the Sailor Noob podcast, where we talk about the food, fashion, and culture of everyone's favorite 90s anime, Sailor Moon.
Right, and it's available wherever you get your podcasts, but what about my thesis ideas?
Why don't you keep working on it? You're so close.
All right. I'll see you at Bob Floyd's later.
It's sad. He'll never really top Black Lady White Privilege. Today for Kyoro Kyoro Miru, or Curiously Looking Around, where we talk about elements of Japanese culture within the episode, we are going to be talking about hamigaki, dentistry, and orthodontics in Japan. They are all tooth-related. It's a tooth-related episode.
It's teeth all the way down.
That's right. So hamigaki is the art of Japanese toothbrushing. It literally means the brushing of one's teeth. In ancient Japan, the Japanese used toothpicks or a tassel made from branches with antibacterial features to polish their teeth. So like antibacterial type materials of plants or whatever would kind of be somewhat like a brush or tassel.
They knew what bacteria was?
I don't know if they did, but that's what I found. Or they're just like,
oh, this is good on your teeth.
If you do this, your teeth will last longer. I noticed that when I rub my
gums with this stick.
Yes.
My breath is shiny and fresh.
It must have been something to that extent.
And no gingivitis.
Right.
Takezo, how do you know what gingivitis is? What are you talking about?
Right. It's unknown when the Japanese started to clean their teeth this way. However, in Japanese Buddhist scripture, there is a story in which Buddha discards a used toothpick on the ground, producing a large tree to come out of the earth.
No, he's always doing that.
So therefore, it's likely that toothpicks were in use shortly after Buddhism was introduced to Japan.
You know, the West, Europeans are so backwards that they'd have to find, we found this Viking and he had a sword and a helmet. And then he also had like a piece of a stick, you know?
Right.
And it's clear that, he must have been cleaned his teeth with this.
Yes.
Meanwhile, in the East, it's like, we wrote all that down and we kept all those scrolls.
Yes.
For like 800 years.
Right.
So look that up. Yep. Oh no, that's what he did.
Yeah, exactly.
The Buddha was just with his pearly whites. He had a water pick.
Oh yeah, he used arm and hammer.
It was arm and nunchucks.
Right.
It was a different brand.
Right, exactly. In 1223, the Zen master Dogen Kigen wrote that he witnessed Chinese monks brushing their teeth, utilizing brushes made from horsehair fastened to the end of an ox.
Hold on. Wait a minute.
Yes, Pegasus. Horsehair fastened to the end of an ox bone handle.
Normally, you gotta pay extra for that.
Oh my God, no.
In 2023?
1223.
Okay, I was like, sorry.
Not 2023. No.
These monks.
No.
Leave the horses alone. I'm putting this on Instagram.
Yeah, many decades ago.
Instagram? Is that what like a goblin has?
Yeah, right.
I'll put this on my Instagram account. Don't take that. I'm going to use that.
Okay, all right. That's all yours. The Japanese may have been introduced to the idea of a modern toothbrush around the same time, but by the late 1800s, especially after contact with the West, toothbrushes started to look more like what we are used to today.
Meanwhile, the Chinese on the mainland have dental x-ray technology or
yeah,
something.
Probably. Yeah.
They're like way ahead.
I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case.
How it always goes.
Toothbrushing using a powder containing salt, mostly to prevent bad breath and keep teeth white, became popular in Edo in the early decades of the 19th century.
His gums would be really raw.
Yeah, that's a good point. But they thought it would...
No, I mean, it would work. Salt is an it's not an antibiotic, antibacterial, I guess.
Sure.
But it's just like,
it
depends on how much they're using,
gums.
I guess.
Yeah.
You know, before gel, there was tooth powder, right?
Sure.
So, like, everybody used that.
Sure.
We used it in America.
Mm-hmm.
So that probably had salt in it.
Probably. I think wouldn't be surprised.
And cocaine.
Oh, God. Wow.
Right?
Wow.
You know, all those old drugs, all pharmaceuticals had.
Coca-Cola, didn't it have cocaine in it? Yeah.
A little heroin, too.
Yeah.
Just to even you out.
Yeah, right.
Don't talk to me till I've had my heroin.
Oh, my God. William Clarke Eastlake was an American and Japan's Mr. Dentist.
No, don't. I have to say it.
At least he was the first foreign dentist and thus brought Western dental health care to Japan. So he arrived in Yokohama in 1865 to open a dental clinic. He is called the, quote, father of modern dentistry in Japan. His real name is Eastlake, but he later changed his name to Eastlake because I guess he thought it sounded better. It was easier for people to say. I'm not really sure. So
he hates the French.
I guess, but like it's confusing because I finally found that somewhere because I think it was like a Wikipedia page, a Japanese Wikipedia page that I was able to.
Bad SEO for the 1860s.
Yeah,
whatever.
because it's like I was seeing,
I can't find this name anywhere in this daguerreotype.
Is it Eastlake or Eastlake? And that's why it shows up differently in different places. So I'll call him by the name he chose for himself. Eastlake paved the way for other foreign dentists who opened their own dental practices in Yokohama and Kobe. What?
They changed it when his family arrived at Tsushima Island.
All right. The dentist hired Japanese dental assistants who acquired the proficiency and skills of modern dentistry from their foreign teachers. Many of the dental assistants went on to become professional dentists themselves. So it was kind of almost like training. And I don't know if, and I don't even know if that's.
He got a cut.
I don't know. I don't know if that was the initial intention or not, but.
His intention to, obviously. It's like the whole.
I guess so. We're
the whole white man's
you.
burden, carpetbagging thing.
You're probably right.
Yeah, but that's what my book is about. Wait till you read it.
Okay.
Mr. Blank.
Okay.
The history. Okay.
When Japan opened up to the West in 1853, Yokohama grew as the main port city. Foreigners lived in the eastern half of Yokohama, and it was called the Yokohama Foreign Settlement. The western half was delegated for Japanese merchants. Yokohama served as an entryway for foreign trade and intercultural exchange for 4 decades from the time of the opening of the port until 1899. In 1865, the year Eastlake first arrived in Japan, Yokohama was still not exactly super safe for foreigners to run a business. There were a lot...
Because of the shogunate?
Well, not because of the shogunate. There were a lot of anti-foreign ronin around.
Oh, sure.
That's something that I specifically stuck out.
Yeah. Tom Cruise took down 3 of them in The Last Samurai.
Yeah, but, they're people who... And besides them, there's a lot of... We're not sure about these foreigners, or we're not sure how we feel about them, that sort of thing.
Look, you don't have to tell me that story.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
His patients were largely other foreigners living within the foreign settlement and the passengers and crew of ships coming in and out of Yokohama. Mm-hmm. His Japanese patients were a minority at his practice. Before foreign dentists arrived in Japan towards the end of the Edo period, which was 1850-1867, there were 3 types of dental care providers in Japan. One was, quote, oral physicians, a medical doctor who specialized in the treatment of teeth, tongue, and throat, treating samurai and court members. So these are the aristocracy, that are being treated by this physician. And Denturist, so Denturist, very hard for me to say, but they treated toothaches, extracted teeth, and made wooden dentures for commoners.
Sure. That sounds like a Jason Statham movie.
Yeah, it does. The Denturist.
The Denturist.
I can see it now. And he has to, if you are the denturist, do you have the dentures yourself? Do you have the wooden dentures?
He's a Doctors Without Borders.
Uh-huh.
Actually, he's just one doctor, so he can only have one border that he's without.
Sure.
And so he goes to give smiles to all the children.
Oh, yes.
Of the global South.
Sure.
But then when the guys with the AK-47s come in, he starts taking teeth out.
Oh my God, no. Oh, okay. The last category is charlatans who lured folks in by showing off their skills at iado, or sword unsheathing.
That's the single draw sword style.
Yes. And or...
Sorry, we just got to a... I know something! Sword stuff, yeah! Sorry, go ahead.
It's all good.
Sorry.
So, yeah, iado or top spinning to sell brushing powder and toothache remedy. Yes. Look over here. Look over there.
Oh, they use tatami instead of cardboard.
Yeah, I know, right?
Go Takezo, duck tape. All right. Sorry.
But I'm sure that's somewhat how it went, Be amazed by my tricks. Here, buy some dental powder from me. It has lots of salt in it.
I also put gold teeth in.
Oh my God.
All right.
In 1866, Dr. J.R. Leisner ran an advertisement about denture teeth in Japanese in Kaigami Shimbun. The ad reads, and this is in English, but quote, denture teeth made of porcelain, not from animal bones, ivories, or proliferolite, are used to fabricate dentures with metal or vulcanite bases. They are durable and have the color and luster of natural teeth.
Thank you. Vulcanite, that's rubber.
Yeah, I guess so.
You got a rubber mouth?
I guess.
Huh.
But it's interesting. There was a scientific paper. It was kind of a scientific paper, but it was a collection. Somebody did a study where they were looking at dentistry history in Japan, and they were able to put all this together because of advertisements in newspapers.
Yeah, the modern hieroglyphics.
Yes, exactly. So, I thought that was really interesting.
We used to have Buddhist scrolls.
Yeah, right.
Now we've got newspaper rolls.
That's right. Lots of microfiche, probably. I don't know.
And Buddha, an iPhone fell out of his pocket and an entire factory grew. Nuts and all.
Oh my God, no.
So it's got to bring it down at the end.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Throw that sour in with the sweet.
Yeah. I'm sad.
Sad.
In 1875, Ionosuke Obata, who studied under Dr. Eastlake's contemporary, Dr. S.T.G. Eliot, took the National Medical Licensure Examination for dentistry and became the first licensed Japanese dentist. New rules and regulations for the medical licensure examination came out in October 1883 to include formally dental subjects, leading to a further increase in the number of applicants aspiring to become dentists. In other words, they made it more specific that like this isn't just like medical licensure, like this covers dental licensure as well.
Okay.
So in 1906, Japanese dental law was initiated. After Obata became a dentist, the number of Japanese dentists grew steadily. Obata also seemed to have acquired a foot-operated drill engine in 1876. All of his dental instruments and materials were imported to Japan. So he basically was like, I'm not going to take on any of this Japanese dental stuff. I want it all imported. You know, I don't know when they started making more Japanese dental stuff, but he imported everything because he felt strongly about that.
Yeah.
But today in Japan, dental hygiene, like brushing your teeth, isn't just something taught to children by their parents. In Japan, kids are basically required to brush their teeth after every meal, even while they are at school. Japanese kids brush their teeth as a group in their classrooms every day. Like in elementary school, they bring their own toothbrush, toothpaste, water cup, mirror, and a towel to wrap around their neck, and they sit at their desks and they brush their teeth. Really young kids bring a toothbrush and just practice brushing because, I mean, they're like kindergartners, preschool. Yeah, I know.
Brush your tongue.
Yeah, right. Some classrooms practice what is called dry brushing, where they brush their teeth without toothpaste, but it's still supposed to, you know, help clean your teeth somewhat.
Can I do the thing where it's like, oh, okay, gaijin, but is this part of like the whole, you know, the 6 things of the Japanese values or whatever, and one of them is like,
well, they think cleanliness is next to godliness.
Yeah.
So I
thought that we talked about, you know, maybe it's not codified into like, you know, 5 or 6 things like 4-H or something like that, but like,
sure.
I thought we talked about how it's like doing this.
Well, they have a lot of
like
specific things.
you know, all the things.
I mean, they have a lot of specific things that they really want to instill in kids at school when they're young, right? Like they clean the classrooms afterwards.
I bet they don't have like the sex education debate there.
Yeah, I don't know. I hope not.
But I'm just saying, they probably don't teach it at all.
Oh,
but I'm just saying, like,
right.
But you know, if there is, I mean, you've got kids brushing here. Here is America for us.
Yes.
They'd be like, I don't want my kid being taught how to brush.
There would be no end to all sorts of things.
We brush back and forth, not up and down.
Yeah, right.
Well, you brush wrong.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like when they in elementary school, the kids take turns serving lunch for their classmates
right.
and cleaning up afterwards.
Yeah.
So we're just instilling these values in kids at a very young age. So I think that's, you know, what it is.
Drudgery. Teaching kids drudgery.
Wow.
Very young.
But I mean, it's also not uncommon for It's fairly common in Japan for adults to brush their teeth after every meal, or even like 3 times a day. It's not uncommon. Huh. So, but anyways, over the years, several toothbrushing songs highlighting the fun sound effects of hamigaki, which is brushing your teeth, have been produced to keep kids' attention. The sound of brushing your teeth is shaku. So that's a good one. Yeah. I like that.
That's in a gorilla song, isn't it?
Probably.
Shaku, shaku, shaku. I know Murdoch was brushing his teeth.
Yeah, right.
I don't think he does brush his teeth.
Oh boy, probably his teeth are kind of yellow, aren't they?
Yeah.
In addition to songs, many toys that encourage toothbrushing have been made to help show the correct way to brush your teeth and ingrain healthy habits for kids. That being said, some of them are just terrifying. Like, you know the character Doraemon, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so super, super duper cute anime Doraemon has got an open mouth full of like human-sized teeth. It is terrifying.
Oof.
Yeah.
Does his head open like a flip top?
No, it's just like he's a stuffed animal, and it's just like my mouth never closes, and there's human-sized teeth in there.
That's what I remember. Me going back once again to the art of the 70s, which I'm not really old enough to have remembered, but I think a lot of those commercials, like Scooby-Doo.
Sure.
Now there's new Scooby-Doo, but when I was watching Scooby-Doo, those were already like 20 years old until they made more new Scooby-Doos, and Sam and Dean were showing up.
Right.
But there was a bunch of like PSA commercials, and there was like a weird guy that just had like the same thing. He looked like Pac-Man with human teeth. And then he'd go, "You gotta brush your teeth." And his head
oh
would
my
open
God.
up all the way, and go, and just brush over his entire now flat top of his body. Yeah.
Yeah, that's terrifying. But
who directed this? David Cronenberg?
Yeah, that I could see. So orthodontist Yuki Miyajima, who calls himself a freelance orthodontist who works...
Okay, yeah. Do not go to Yuki Miyajima.
But he works with 11 different clinics. He believes that Japanese have long been too tolerant of crooked teeth. So, I mean, when I first heard the freelance thing, I was like, I don't know how I feel about that. But reading through the article, it's like he travels to like 11 different clinics and does orthodontic work.
He's a consultant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it doesn't sound good.
That branding wouldn't work over here.
No, it would not.
I guess I understand what he's doing.
It makes him sound like a charlatan over here.
I know. It's Howard Hill rolling into town. Or Dutch Schultz. No, that was the gangster. Koenig. Who is Christopher Waltz's character in Waltz's character in Django?
I don't remember his name.
Tooth that just goes back and forth on his wagon.
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
King Schultz was his name.
Okay, all right. Miyajima said, quote, "In general, Japanese really don't want to show their teeth to other people, but this has more to do with culture than whether their teeth are bad or good." Uh-huh. So I know we've talked about this in a previous episode. Ohaguro is the blackening of the teeth. Yeah. I read somewhere else that like a lot of an extension of that might be like people covering their mouths when they laugh nowadays. Is because like they're kind of like they're embarrassed about their teeth somehow, or they feel like they shouldn't show their teeth.
Interesting.
Yeah. So based on a 2010 nationwide survey by the Japanese Association of Orthodontists, out of 1,000 males and females between the ages of 10 and 50, around half the Japanese were confident about their teeth. But despite the hesitation to get braces, a majority of them said teeth determine first impressions, that those with straight teeth emanate a sense of health, cleanliness, and good upbringing. But they still don't want to go through the braces.
I think most of the Japanese people that I see are, actors.
Yes.
Or personalities. And I think that the teeth are getting better.
Okay.
I think that has gotten into the, at least the acting and personality side. I'm not talking about like seeing some, comedian duo or something like on a talk show.
Oh, sure.
But like the handsome, young men and women of Japanese films tend to have a lot better teeth, I think, these days.
Yeah. And that wasn't always the case either. You know, it's like you have a personality, but people don't fix it. Dental hygiene has been important in Japan for a while, but even during the Edo period, quote, people were surprisingly tolerant of bad teeth alignment, end quote, Miyajima writes. In fact, the word snaggletooth or rangubia, literally uneven teeth, appears as a description in a comic book during the Edo period.
Huh.
So,
like a character's name?
Yeah, I guess so. Or they're just saying they're describing the character, and like he had that character as a snaggletooth.
Subtitle: exit stage left.
Oh, I see what you're doing. Snaggletooth. Yeah. Okay.
Or it'd be stage right.
I don't know.
You know, different culturally.
Oh, culturally. Okay. I know we've talked about this before as well, but I just feel like we need to mention it. In Japan, yaeba, or double tooth or snaggle maxillary canines, are human teeth, especially upper canines, with an uncommonly fang-like appearance. Yaeba most often refers to a tooth overlapping another tooth or protruding from higher in the gum. In Japan, it's perceived as a sign of youthfulness and natural beauty in young women. In 2013, it had become a trend where teenage girls would undergo dental procedures to cap the upper canines. More recently, this fad is decreasing. Many women are getting rid of their caps or are fixing their overlapping teeth. So It's kind of fading.
Good.
It's yeah.
Hopefully
you do see it with anime characters, though.
Yeah, well, you know. Also, it's just like devilish or kind of fiendish characters have, or when a character is acting fiendish, they get the teeth like that. But that's just the thing. Hopefully that's an upward trend.
Yes.
Literally upward.
Yes, exactly.
Because I read recently that Japan has raised the age of consent to 16
Thank
nationally.
Freaking God.
And has instituted new laws about stalking and harassment.
Long overdue.
After some high-profile tragedies.
Yeah.
But I know that we've talked about it on the show before. There's been a campaign for it, and regionally it's varied. But I think that it's a national thing now.
That's good. I'm very glad to hear that.
Watch out, Mamoru.
Oh my God! Stop it! Not all toothpaste in Japan contain fluoride, which protects your enamel. Some do, but you just have to check the ingredients to see if it has it or not. It's just not a given like it is here. Yeah. One of the biggest myths in Japanese dentistry is that they don't use anesthetic. There is possibly a reluctance to use anesthetics. Wisdom teeth removal, root canal, or other potential painful treatments may only be given localized anesthesia to the tooth being worked on and not the gums surrounding it. So that might be where it came from. It's not so.
Okay.
And I think, they always are conscientious of like, well, if you are feeling pain, let them know and that sort of thing.
Yeah, right.
It's also something else that I thought was like interesting. It's also very common to have multiple half-an-hour appointments for a single procedure. Like you'll have like you're getting your teeth crowned or whatever, and they'll see you for multiple, like 3 or 4 times in a half hour.
Different days.
Huh. So I guess a lot of dentists, what I read about it is a lot of dentists are like walk-ins. So if you would prefer to have fewer visits and have them be longer, you just need to make sure that the dental clinic takes appointments and see if they're like 45, 60 minutes instead of half an hour. Okay. Itadakimasu with Usagi. What did Usagi eat in this episode? So much food. We see dinner at the Tsukino household with Usagi and Chibi saying "Gochiso-sama," which is essentially "thank you for the food." Ikuko Mama tells the girls that she has custard and ice cream for desserts. They then say that there is always room for dessert. At 8:30 p.m., Ikuko Mama offers the girls steamed bean jelly with chestnuts or cream puffs, and the girls say they prefer both. At 10:30 p.m., it's just, come on. Ikuko Mama asks the girls to join her for tea and snacks before bedtime, and they have tea, chocolate donuts, and what looks like madeleines.
Yeah. And we have to assume,
yes,
the few times that we see Mother on this show, this happens every night.
We have to assume that.
Right.
And we also have to assume that every
night. They didn't say that it was like a festival day or something like that.
Yeah, right.
Okay, you cleaned up for the ancestors. Now let's have the Madeleines. Like,
right.
no, like this is every day. This is a Tuesday.
Yeah, right. And every day, Usagi and Chibi are choosing not to brush their teeth.
Not brushing their teeth.
Yeah, that's what's happening. Obviously, we learn that there is a picnic the following day. PallaPalla releases a bag of magical sugar into Azuba Juban so that her dentist clinic will have lots of patients.
Wait, I guess. Who's even keeping track anymore? I guess they have bags of magical sugar. That or it was just a bag of actual sugar, and she just thought,
"This'll happen."
2 seconds later, when the scene cut, she's like, the wind just blows it back.
I have a question for you. When she stuck her fingers into the sugar and then rubbed it on her teeth, were you reminded of like somebody testing
like it's
drugs?
Miami Vice?
Yes.
No.
I was like,
no.
What is happening?
Gotta get it on the gums.
Yeah, right, exactly. Mako made a large bento box for the picnic. Usagi was eating some corn on the cob. Chibiusa tries to eat some ice cream, possibly a scoop of chocolate and one of mint. I don't know. It's 2 different colors, double cone.
A rocky road.
Yes. Everyone else is eating ice cream too, but Chibiusa's mouth hurts. In the waiting room, Usagi and Chibiusa are allowed to eat a table full of sweets, cream puffs, a peach tart, jello, cookies, candy, fruit, iced tea, melon soda, cakes, etc. And they were told to have all you want. What could possibly go wrong?
Yeah.
Feeling gauge, we rate a baddie 1 to 5 dark stars, 5 being the most wicked. The lemur in this episode is named Gari, or Gari, the girl who grinds for fun.
So Gari, I'll get ahead of you, has got to be the onomatopoeia for a grinding sound.
Yes. It's an onomatopoeia for grinding or scraping or scratching sound.
So like a ghost in the cellar would be Gari. It's like scrape.
Oh, I can see that.
Scraping
on
the tombstones.
Oh.
When Freddy comes out.
It's spooky time, so.
Yeah. Freddy's Garying.
Okay. I could totally see that. I think that works. Yeah.
I guess. It's just like Gara with the rattle.
Yes. Yeah. It's totally like that.
I'm paying attention.
Yeah, but it's noises that would, a dentist might make while cleaning your teeth. So, but it's also kind of creepy when you think about it too.
Yes, it is.
Her design, she looks like an anthropomorphic tube of toothpaste with a drill for a tail, which is like awesome. The tube of toothpaste is light blue. She has a pink face with bright red circles on her cheeks and green eyes. Her face can transform from being really cute to really scary. On her abdomen is a very scary looking tooth that has scary looking red eyes and red mouth, and she is wearing white heels.
She looks like Devilman when she's scary face.
Oh, yeah, I can see that.
She looks like a Go Nagai drawing.
She does. Yeah. One of the things she says is, "Don't worry, you'll never have cavities after I grind down all of your teeth." It's like,
no lies detected.
Yeah, right, exactly. Now we're up to our rating. She throws metal dental tools, probably burrs, at Sailor Moon and Sailor Chibi Moon to peg them to the wall. She attempts to drill Sailor Moon and Sailor Chibi Moon's teeth. I think her design is interesting. The drill tail is really creepy. And I think she's very terrifying with what she says. But we don't spend like a lot of time with her. So I'm going to have to give her a 3 out of 5 dark stars.
I'm going to give her 2.
Okay.
This is a 2.
Okay.
She is basically a mascot for the Japanese Dental Association.
You are not wrong.
Only scary.
Just very scary.
Yeah. Like if, an evil spirit possessed the friendly dental mascot and then it became this. Mm-hmm. That's not enough. Now, if we were considering the doll doctor and nurse and their fascinating story.
Yeah, right.
The evil fish, the PallaPalla's dream house altogether. Maybe it was more, but we don't.
No,
we just do
don't.
the villain. And
yeah.
a tube of toothpaste with eyes. That's not going to do it for me.
No.
I love everything about this. And I'm sure I'll be disappointed, but if every time PallaPalla's shows up, she turns some playset or toy into some form of attack, that would be really great.
100% agree with that.
Are they all pool sharks?
Yes, they all have.
Where does that come from?
I don't know. This is how they decided to get the mirrors out.
Okay,
this time.
Kiro Miru.
Yeah.
Billiards in Japan.
Billiards in Japan. Okay.
Because when I watch Shoujo Commando Izumi, my second favorite Skibon show.
Oh no!
Because I think it's Hana no Asukagumi now.
Okay.
That's a pretty good show. But I do like Shoujo Commando Izumi.
Of
they
course.
go to the hamburger bar.
Yeah.
They're playing pool.
Yeah, they are.
All the time.
That's true.
So there's got to be a story there.
Maybe there's a Mr. Pool.
Mr. Billiards, thank you.
Mr. Billiards. Yes, excuse me. I misspoke. Take a bow, or our rating on how our villains left the stage of life. She's kneeling on one knee and has her hands behind her head as she says, "Stage out." It's a little different, but I'm just not feeling it. I'm gonna give her 2 out of 5.
It's getting a 1 from me.
Okay.
This isn't enough.
No, it's not.
It's literally a still image. She's like doing a hoochie pose.
Kind of seems like
at the end. I made the stripper joke before, but
yeah,
it was just suddenly like she's got like bam, like she's
posing,
getting it out there. But come on, man, like this wasn't anything. There wasn't any funny thing with the eyes popping out,
and she wasn't even really like screaming it.
Put a face on her drill. The drill's like, what? No.
Yeah, right.
The toothpaste squirts out of her head.
Oh, that would have been fun.
No, they didn't have time for that.
No,
so I don't have time to give them more than a 1.
Fair enough. Now we're up to our rating. I love how ruthless PallaPalla is with her dolls. If you can't stand the pain, we will just pull your head off. I like the sequence with Usagi and Chibiusa eating food, and I like how it's framed from the inside of the mouth full of teeth, and it continues to crumble. It's really clever, and I really appreciate that. I like that PallaPalla is able to transform her toy dentist clinic into a full-scale dental clinic. I also like that it's bright, colorful, and called Delightful Dentistry. And I also like that PallaPalla's dolls come to life. It's very fun. I like that Minako tells a ghost story about the Zubajuban dentist, and it freaks Usagi and Chibiusa out. PallaPalla having a back room full of kids who didn't have a golden dream mirror is very dark and vicious.
Just stacked like cordwood.
Yeah, exactly. So there are some high points to this episode, but it's not my favorite. So I'm going to give it 3 out of 5 roses.
Wow. You're like Mother Teresa. How'd she feel about teeth? Was she fixing anybody's teeth?
I don't know if she was fixing anybody's teeth. She's probably praying for them.
We call it Kolkata now, right? It's not Calcutta, but
yeah.
2, barely.
Okay.
Barely a 2. Last time it was 2 pounds in a 6-pound bag. It was like 1 pound of story in a 6-pound story bag, a bag in which you carry story. And the PSA nature of it immediately puts me off. But then when I found out that it wasn't even that, it was just, I don't know, dentist. And then it seemed like sometimes they do a thing where they have an idea and they are suddenly doing things different. Mm-hmm. It isn't just, I'm running to school, I'm late. Oh, we're in class. Oh, there's somebody new. There's a contest. There's a store giving plants away or whatever. They had a way in, but it's like they wasted all these opportunities. All that creativity kind of just resulted in nothing because the resolution was silly, and to the point where they had to bring a power back from the first episode.
I know.
That was clearly they came up with when they didn't know anything about the show or what to do.
Right.
Which at the same time, I think maybe that's why it's getting a 2 because of the return of the old power, which they don't do as much as I'd like. But the teeth Chiron, the Usagi mouth wipe. Which is also just kind of ripping off the Luna mouth wipe. Yep. Mamoru practicing his apology.
Yeah, that was interesting.
It's like an episode of a show. You got a show you really like. You like some episodes more than other, but it's pretty consistent. And there's one episode that's like really weird and different, and you're like, what's going on here? Why was it like this? And even if there's things that could have worked, you're almost like, is this a different show? Or
it feels different.
Did they let the boss's kid do this one? And it was just too far for me. Mm-hmm. And not enough, too much stuff happened that I know will never come back. There'll never be any follow-up. And the show will have no responsibility towards exploring it ever again.
We'll never see those dolls ever again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. R.I.P. dolls.
R.I.P. dolls.
Rating 2.
My English title is Sugar Highs, Dental Lows.
Whoa, hey.
Yeah.
You're coming over onto my side
of
the shop here. That's good. Sometimes I come up with one and I really want to do it, and then I come up with another one and I'm like, that's better.
Okay.
That has to be the one it is.
Okay.
So the official title is Tooth Sans Consequences.
Tooth Sans Consequences? I don't get it.
Tooth, like truth.
Okay.
Sans, meaning, without.
Without.
But like, and consequences.
Okay. Now I get it.
Okay. Well, maybe I should have gone with the one I really wanted to do.
Which is that?
Dental Damn It.
Next episode, we were talking about episode number 154, Yume Taiketsu, Minako to Makoto Zeko Sengen in Japanese. Clash of Dreams, Minako and Makoto's Broken Friendship, the English translation, and the English title, Nightmare Garden.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Two senshi that don't jive a lot. Jibe? Jive.
I don't know. Is that true?
I speak jive. I speak jibe.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't hang out much.
I feel like there have been multiple
There's been like one or two
power-up episodes where they both get their power-ups at the same time. I think they shortchange them sometimes.
Yeah. And she was, I think the most recent thing I can remember is I think that she was on board with her, with the episode that assassinated Makoto's character, where she's at the dance with Tiger.
Oh, yeah.
Minako was around for that. But,
yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I'll get some Zeko.
Yeah.
What's Zeko? I'm pro Zeko. Let's just say that.
I don't know.
We have a new ad on the network.
Yes.
Which, I don't know. Once our other shows are up and running, I guess you'll hear that ad on that network. But we put it on this show just for fun, so you could hear it. And we had fun making it. And I have so many more thesis titles.
I'm excited.
That we didn't use.
Okay.
There were some that were just sort of like sketches, like Par for the Horse.
Oh my God. Sure.
And I thought that I could probably use horse nethers.
Oh, no.
Somewhere.
No.
But, Back in the Saddle Shoes.
No.
Steeple Chasing a Predator.
Oh my God.
Or Unstable, a story of reining in unbridled perversion.
Oh my God.
So, something like that.
Wow.
They're all dark, too.
They are.
Searching for Senpai. That's not so dark.
Yeah.
I'll Be Gone in the Dark Kingdom.
Oh my God.
It's not great. This one didn't fit anywhere, but sometimes you just like one.
Yeah.
Artemis, the cat stays in the picture. I don't know why. That was a thing.
Aww.
And Chibi was a focus of a lot of them too. A royal pain.
Oh, for sure.
I was a teenage something.
Uh-huh.
Chibi's got a gun, high caliber self-defense for preteens. And then like my favorite one, which there's absolutely nothing we could have done with it. Nobody would have got it anyway, but we bought a Zubu Japan.
I love it. It's
So,
pretty amazing.
Anyway, had some fun with those. Have fun with us on Spotify. Every episode we have a Q&A, and we read the answers that people pose to our questions. The only question is, what did you think of the episode?
Right.
Do we mean the episode of Sailor Moon?
Yes.
Or our episode? It doesn't matter. In fact, it's both. So if you're a Spotify listener, go to your app or go to the website and answer the question for this episode. What did you think about this episode?
Well, that's our show for this week, and the Name of the Moon will be punishing you next week with another episode of Sailor Noob.
Tooth Sans Consequences.
My gosh, everybody calls him doctor, and he's not really a doctor. Oh, my God.